Historically, the east side of Buffalo has been the target of climate and environmental injustice due to urbanization through redlining, racism, and generational trauma. The urbanization of this part of Buffalo has created heat islands with limited green spaces, leading to elevated air pollutants and increased health risks on already vulnerable populations. While the community lacks adequate green spaces, Buffalo currently owns 8,000 empty lots seized from home demolitions and foreclosures. Rather than redistributing these lots for social good, the city has been accumulating hundreds of them and is causing these lots to serve as dumping grounds and fill with debris, exaggerating the health risks facing the community. As our team has learned through PGC, the lack of green space has many long-term negative effects on climate change, environmental health, and individual health and well-being. Myself, Lea Kyle, and the rest of the UB Green team, Matthew Toponi and Andy Whitehead, combine our backgrounds in business, law, social work, and science with our passion for advocacy and sustainability. Our climate action plan allowed us to use our previous experiences to make ongoing and impactful change to the East Side community of Buffalo. Our climate action plan mission project is to create free open spaces for the community that they want to use. In October, we started off with the following 3 goals. First, to build relationships with and between nonprofit partners. Second, to build out 2 green spaces in the city of Buffalo, one for indoor for the cold months and one for outdoors for the warm months. And the third is to build educational materials for the University of Buffalo to promote climate and environmental justice efforts. After meeting with our community partners, neighbors, students, and our PGC mentors, our goals became more clear, and so did our impact. So as follows, we were hoping to develop an outdoor green space by transforming an empty lot, develop an indoor green space through building of hydroponic farms, raise $1,000 to financially support the project, connect with 10 community members to identify needs and partnership for the space, host an educational program to engage with UB students in the project, and establish a long-term sustainability plan to ensure the space is maintained after the PGC. We are happy to say we have surpassed these goals and on our way to completing a complete transformation of both spaces. Our first stage of the project was community engagement. As college students who aren't living within the neighborhoods we are impacting, we knew our discovery phase was going to be the most important for building a space that the community wanted. During this phase, we connected with 13 different organizations and individuals, including government leaders, community members, teachers, and nonprofits, and Buffalo's first poet laureate to gain a better understanding of what our green spaces should include and how they can best serve the communities they are in. We also gained access to a community-wide survey distributed by Central Terminal Restoration Group. They gave us access to hundreds of residents' responses in a much quicker manner. All of these meetings, research, and community surveys inspired and led our efforts, and we learned the community was looking for a space that they can make their own that also serves as an educational and useful space. After our discovery phase, it was time to get to work. For the past 5 months, we were very intentional about the steps we needed to take, and the development of an indoor and outdoor green space required a handful of smaller pieces. We hosted a seed starting program, which engaged 30 students and allowed us to start 200 or more seeds to be planted in the next couple of weeks. In the same vein, we hosted a community cleanup to both gain materials to place in the bottom of the raised garden beds and clean up our campus. Our project is focused on addressing the environmental racism facing the residents of the city. Our team member, Andy, drafted educational materials focusing on how environmental racism impacts residents in the city of Buffalo, which we distributed virtually and at the student events. We also utilized social media using our own Project Green page, as well as the University of Buffalo's Instagram page to promote various climate and environmental justice messages. The first challenge we faced was snow, ice, and more snow and ice. The winters are very long, and the threat of frost can last up until April or even early May. It literally snowed like earlier this week. While all of the pieces are ready, we can't plant until the first week of May, so we've been patiently waiting to start digging. Another challenge was the communication with external partners and organizations. We had a lot of positive communication. However, some organizations that didn't have the capacity to collaborate. We had to work creatively and spend a lot of time reaching out to the right people. The final challenge was a lack of funding. Starting off with a budget of $0 was intimidating in itself. However, we improvised and sent emails asking for donations, hosted seasonal bake sales, and received in-kind donation fundraising $1,500 for the space. Now on to this exciting part, the impact. The photo here isn't just any old lot on the east side of Buffalo. It is a lot we will be transforming into an open, free community garden space in green space. We are creating a space that is not only provides green to the physical Buffalo area, but engages the larger community as a whole. Once the space was confirmed, we got to work and purchased 35 bags of soil to build a garden bed, hand building 3 raised garden beds, researched and constructed a fully functioning hydroponic farm on Matt's scroll saw, and even planted more seed starters in recycled K-cups. This empty lot will no longer just sit in an unused green space, but become a community hub for years to come. Here's how it will look in a couple of weeks. Adjacent to the East Community High School, one of the most under-resourced schools in all of Buffalo, the lot will serve as a refuge for students, an educational classroom, and a welcoming place for the community. The mulch bed will be built up with pavers, the reused UB's old construction projects, and be filled with sunflowers and other local seeds our students started, as well as filled with perennials to fill in the space with some color. The garden beds we built will be filled with debris from our campus cleanup. Then the seeds we started will be planted there. These garden beds will not only serve as a food supply, but teachers have also expressed interest in using the gardens to teach students about planting, gardening, and growing their own produce. Remember that the poet laureate we mentioned earlier, she donated a community library painted by local students for the space as well. Finally, we are purchasing benches and spending a Saturday at East to fill stack pots to build a reflective corner for students to sit, read, and soak in the sun. Understanding the green space in Buffalo may look different to each organization, and thinking creatively in how we can add green to an environment that is winter 8 months out of the year. We built a hydroponic farm system that will be donated to another nonprofit, the Matt Urban Hope Center, which to be used to grow fresh produce. The produce and herbs grown in this system will then be used in Matt Urban's culinary arts training program that Andy started last year as part of their internship. Now students will be able to learn to cook and learn to grow their own fruits and vegetables. Beyond building on a physical space, we want to make sure that this will have a long-term sustainable impact. East Community recently hired a new Say Yes employee that has in their job description to build and maintain a community garden. Employees at East have a commitment to the maintenance of the space, as well as students will be completing mandatory community service hours to assist with weeding, watering, and building. We have applied for a permanent membership with the Grassroots Garden to assist in providing resources and maintenance of rebuilding garden beds or providing plants for years to come. In addition, a community member who lives on the same block expressed their interest with assisting this team. And our team will be committed to stay on resource and reassess until next May. And through this journey, we have been able to expand our network of partnerships by focusing on a collaboration over competition. The building of green spaces demonstrates our passion and focus on the promotion of climate and environmental justice in our own communities. Because of PGC, we have been able to continue to learn and grow to do what is necessary to effect long-lasting, impactful change and empower our communities to do the same. Thank you.